Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm talking about something crazy that I just heard about. So this is Paul Erdos. He was a mathematician that came up with a bunch of these problems that were basically considered unsolvable, at least at the time. And over the years, decades, mathematicians have been trying to crack these problems. So they're open problems, anybody can solve them. And a lot of them, like I said, have been unsolved for decades. So that brings us to Terence Tao. He's basically what's considered the best mathematician alive right now. Some people say maybe ever. But he's basically like the Mozart of math. This guy, he's just widely considered the best mathematician on the planet. So any of these problems, if they get solved, like he's kind of the one that checks them to like verify if it's correct. Because, even though if he can't solve it, he can still see the math works because he understands math better than anybody. So something crazy happened. This is the news that broke, which I'm about to get to, because AI basically is just advancing so fast that it's been able to solve some of these problems. So problem Erdos these problems called Erdos problems. So Erdos problem 397 was accepted by Terence Tao. Like I said, he's kind of the guy that says, yeah, it works. So this was generated by GPT 5.2 Pro, ChatGPT from OpenAI. And, many open problems are sitting there just waiting for someone to prompt ChatGPT to solve them. So there's been some solved with AI assistance. I believe that one of these new ones was solved completely with ChatGPT by itself. So what's really interesting, these for the first time an LLM GPT 5.2 Pro has successfully solved an Erdos problem on its own. So this makes me really excited for GPT 5.3 Pro. Science is gaining momentum and the breakthroughs are becoming more significant. So these type of things are starting to happen more and more often and faster. There's a cool graph I'm going to show you in a second, which is going to get you really excited, I think, if you care about scientific breakthroughs. GPT 5.2 has successfully and fully autonomously resolved Erdos problem 728 prior to any human previously. Okay, and then as a bonus, Erdos problem 729 has also been fully autonomously resolved by GPT 5.2. So you see this list here. These are all the open problems, the Erdos problem numbers, and then, there's different AI tools that have been used because Terrace House tracking all the problems that AI is using to try to solve them. So you can see Alpha Evolve, that's like one of Google's AIs, Alpha Proof, and then there's ChatGPT in here. So basically these different AIs that are trying to crack these issues, and there's different things like yellow might mean they solved part of it, like they kind of figured out some of the solution but couldn't fully solve it. And obviously these greens, full solution. So ChatGPT hit 728 and then 729 right after that. So 2 days later, Terence Tao confirmed AI autonomously solved another open math problem, Erdos problem 729. Don't get numb to news like this. For years, very serious people confidently declared AI would never do this, and many uninformed people still say this. It's unbelievable, guys, how many people I talk to in my life when I tell them, I've been talking to just regular everyday people. These aren't people that research AI or look into AI news or watch any of these type of videos like you're watching right now. And I'll tell them something about, oh, by, in 1 year or in 3 years, we're going to have this or that. And they will always say the same thing. Oh, not in my lifetime, not in my lifetime. People are expecting things to advance the way that it advanced from 1940 to 1950. It's just not going to happen like that. Like we're having breakthroughs every single day. I see posts that show what happened this week in AI, and it's like a lifetime of improvements that have happened just this week. And that happens every single week, guys. Because we are starting to get to this recursive point where the AI is building the next level AIs, and that's just making the speed go so incredibly fast that humans fail to really understand it. So don't get numb to news like this. It's going to be happening every single day. It's going to be happening so often that once people really start to accept it, I think people are going to really start to become numb to it, even though we try not to, because, like you'll have someone tell you like, oh, did you hear AI solved blank? And you're just gonna be like, oh, really? All right, yeah. So what did you want to do for lunch? That's how people are going to be, because those things are going to be happening so often every single day. And then this last chart that I wanted to show you, you may have seen this already. This has been going around on social media for some time, but basically, if you scaled out intelligence all the way, okay, like down here is basically you don't know anything about anything. Like here's an ant, like it hardly knows anything, right? This is 0. And then all the way up here, let's call this like God, like everything about the universe, everything about how physics works and every single thing about everything. Okay, so if you put it all up, so when we started building AIs, they didn't know how to do anything really, and we started to get slow improvements, right? They could do some things, and then That's why, like, as it got smarter, people, when it was here, thought that it would never be like a human. When you scale out all of intelligence, a dumb human and Einstein are very close on the scale of intelligence. It seems like Einstein is so much farther ahead of a dumb human, but a human is so much smarter than most animals, even a dumb one, right? So even a low IQ human is much more capable of doing most things than the average animal. So they're relatively close. And then this little text here says, haha, that's adorable. The funny robot can do monkey tricks. And that's what people have been saying for the last 2 years. Like, oh, that's cool. ChatGPT can write a letter. That's cool. ChatGPT can write an essay. That's cool. ChatGPT can, whatever you use it for. Oh, that's a cool image. It can make an image that looks kind of good, right? But we are hitting this exponential curve now. Like, we're right here. We're in between a dumb human and Einstein. And we're getting very, very close to our Einstein level now that we're starting to solve these Erdos problems. So if you think about it, because, like, is it smarter than the smartest humans on the planet? Not quite yet, but it's getting closer by the day. And it's obviously past dumb humans. So we're in between right now. But this is the pace we've been on. And now we're hitting straight up on the curve because it's a recursive, multiplicative, triple exponential curve between robotics, software, and chips. Everything is just advancing so fast, and they're helping each other. So it's just an explosion of growth in every single field. So you put it all together, we are going to blast through this and just continue going straight up. And up here, we're talking about, an Einstein or a very smart human might have an IQ 140, 150, 160. So what happens when we get to IQs that are, 1,000 IQ? Like, that's not even like, if it was like, there might be some human that could possibly get to 180, 200, or maybe is some that are, but, like, 1,000 is not even humanly possible. And we are going to absolutely reach that with AI, where it will make light work of every single problem. One thing I forgot to mention is that I read somewhere, I couldn't find it for the video, but I read somewhere that AI solved the problem in 15 minutes. These are problems that are, meant to, that our humans would work on for hours and hours and hours and then take a break, and they couldn't solve it. Maybe they come back to it another day, try to rework different ways, or think about it from a different angle, right? That's how a human would process through things. And this is the reason, guys, why science has traditionally advanced so slowly, is because human brains get tired. Even the smartest people on the planet, there's very, very smart people on the planet, right? There is, like, if you think of human beings, we have like 8 billion people on the planet roughly. Of the 8 billion, let's say the top few thousand of those are incredibly smart. These are the people that are pretty much building and inventing everything. These are the people that are the greatest scientists and engineers and all the things that create the modern life that we all enjoy. Those people are still human beings. They have to sleep. They have to take breaks. They have to eat. Their brains do get tired. They can't just think for 24 hours a day and never eat or sleep, right? But a machine can. So the smartest people in the world couldn't solve this. The best, and mind you, these problems have been open for like 40 years. You think there's been some good mathematicians that have came through Earth in the last 40, 50 years? Absolutely, there has, right? I mean, there's those people like you see in the movies when the people have like the big board and they're drawing like those equations that seem to last for like, hundreds of lines. There's people that really do math like that, and those people couldn't solve it. So, and then ChatGPT was like, yeah, 15 minutes, I got it. So these models are as dumb today as they're ever going to be. They're never going to go backwards. They're only going to keep getting smarter and smarter as time goes. And as time goes forward, I mean, it's going to be obviously more and more breakthroughs are going to happen every single day. So if you really think about science as a whole, why it's kind of exciting is because if you really want to think, what is the most important field of science? Is it physics? Is it chemistry? Is it biology? Is it you could look at any branch of science and you could make a good case why it's the most important, right? Because, like, everything breaks down to chemistry, everything relies on the laws of physics, but math is a foundational principle in all sciences, because pretty much any science involves calculation, which involves math. And in order to have breakthroughs in all different fields of science, understanding math is going to accelerate that. So when humans are stuck on an issue that they can't figure out, instead of racking their brains for 10 years trying to get past the problem, ChatGPT can now do that in 15 minutes. So these models are going to continue getting smarter and smarter, and the breakthroughs are not just going to happen in math, they're going to happen in physics and materials sciences and in every field of science. So I know a lot of people are nervous about AI and what it's going to do for jobs, and those are all valid concerns. However, the advancements that we're about to have in science and medicine and every scientific field, physics, materials sciences, every single field is going to advance more in the next 10 years than we would have in thousands at our old current pace pre-AI. So, AIs on their own are going to solve problems. Humans assisted by AI are going to solve different problems. And this is just going to allow an explosion of science. Now, again, I want to stress to you guys, it is scary to have something this smart, but it also does another thing that I really wanted to mention in this video. It levels the playing field because now, like, and for all of human history, it was easier for smart people than it was for dumb people, right? If you were smart, you could figure out things that dumb people couldn't figure out. You could come up with a business plan that you thought of in your brain, and other people couldn't think of that. Or you could, be anything, was that way you could work through a problem. That's what human beings had to do since the beginning of time. And the people that have better brains pretty much did better in life. You had better jobs, better businesses, better everything. So now, though, yes, there is going to be some super intelligent things in the world that are smarter than human beings, but it also completely levels the playing field because no one is going to be smarter than anybody else. You can make an argument that there is people that will be using the AIs better than other people because they have a smarter way to think about how can I use this tool, right? Like you give one guy a hammer and he just holds it and thinks it's like a cool like paperweight, and then another guy a hammer, he's like, I'm going to build a house. Same tool, but they use it differently. So there still is going to be some of that. But in terms of just problem solving and everything, like everyone is going to be able to use AI to work through problems. So everybody is going to have a genius level intelligence. So if you really think about it that way, it levels the playing field, right? Because like you can know nothing about a business plan and you can say, this is the business I want to start. Give me a business plan that is the most likely to exceed. Do the competitor analysis, come up with the angles, give me, give me the best ideas for marketing and everything. And it's going to give it to you the way that the smartest person on the earth would be able to think of it. And now you could do that. So now, even though you're not very intelligent or in that, at least in that area, you are on par with everyone who is. And so now, like, like a guy like Terrence Tao, who's the smartest mathematician in the world, soon everybody's going to be as good as math as that because we'll just be able to ask ChatGPT any problem that we're stuck on mathematically and we'll be able to solve it. So that's going to wrap up this video, guys. I wanted to leave this one a little bit more exciting. I know it's easy to always think these things are scary and what's going to happen when something gets that smart and everything. But in terms of just science and medical breakthroughs, I think we're really about to live through a very exciting time in the next 1, 2, 3, 5 years, because these breakthroughs are going to happen so fast. Instead of getting one breakthrough a decade, we're going to be getting one breakthrough a day or a week, and it's just going to be happening like quickly. So that's going to end this video, guys. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Is it going too fast? Is it exciting? What is your takeaways from this? And let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see next. I love making these videos.